Hello YouTubers, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing fantastic. I'm doing great. I have a very good one for you today. At least I think it's a great one. You guys will let me know what you think in the comments, or if you like and subscribe. That speaks volumes, right? So for those of you guys who have liked my past videos and subscribed, thank you so much. For those of you that are new, like I said, welcome, and consider liking and subscribing, or even sharing the content. So today's video, we are going to talk about the tribute band, and we're just going to, I'm going to share some thoughts on them and whether they're, worth, checking out, both time and money. And yeah, so let's get into it. Let's not waste any time, and let's get right to the content. Okay, so tribute bands. What should you expect when you go to see a tribute band? I have these criteria. And so first off, they have to deliver that music pretty close to the way the original artist would deliver it to you, right? And so they got to kind of stick to what, like, pretty much what was released on the album or the single. They got to deliver that song pretty much exactly how you know it, right? The other thing is they have to have that look and that essence of the band that they are pretending to be, right? And so, for example, and this is a hard one to pull off, if you're going to go see a Queen band, tribute band, then that Freddie Mercury has to be pretty much spot on with the mannerisms. He's got to be able to have a really good voice that's close to Freddie's, or else it's just kind of hard. I mean, you know what? To be honest, I've never really seen a bad. I've only seen one Queen tribute. They're called Queen Nation, and they were very good. And I think they tour all over the States. So, but anyhow, those are the things that they have to hit pretty good. And that's basically, the music has to sound spot on. They have to have that look, and then they have to have the essence and the personality of that band down pat. Okay, so next up, some of these tribute bands like the Doors, David Bowie, the Beatles. You're never going to see the Beatles. You're never going to see David Bowie. You're never going to see Queen do it the way Freddie Mercury did. So the tribute band is pretty much the only option you have, right? And luckily, there are some guys out there, like I mentioned previously, the Queen band that I seen was spot on. David Bowie was awesome. I've seen two great versions of the Doors, and both bands nailed it. And so, yeah, you get to see bands that you might not normally get to see. So that's a great thing about tribute bands, right? So let me know what you think about that. Next up, the price to go see a tribute band is just, it's ridiculous. So you'll pay, like, for the night. Say you went to go see a Motley Crue tribute band, which to me, my favorite Motley Crue tribute band is called Hollywood Crew. Those guys are just amazing, man. They just do it up right. And, I can get into one of these clubs out here for 15 bucks and have a couple of beers for another 15 bucks because I don't drink and drive. So I'll get there and have a couple of beers early on, and I'll stay for a couple hours because they say you can have one drink an hour and you're good. And then I'll leave. And you get to go have that experience for 30 bucks. You go see Motley Crue, and man, the process, you won't even get the parking for 30 bucks. So they're just a very cheap alternative to seeing live music. And like I said before, you get to see them the way you remember them. And anyhow, that's another great thing about tribute bands. Let me know what you think about that. Okay, so here's a couple more things on tribute bands. First of all, there are different tribute bands that capture different eras of the band that you like. Like there are AC/DC tributes out there. Some are Brian Johnson. They lean towards that side. And then some lean towards Bon Scott. I've seen tribute bands where they do a version of Depeche Mode when Dave Gahan has long hair, or most of them are with the short hair. So anyhow, you can see different varieties, right? And the next thing is some of these guys, they do it better. They'll do like a band better than the actual band does themselves. And that's not because, it's really just because people get older, right? A hair metal band, from the 80s, the guys may not have their hair anymore. They may have gained a lot of weight. Just things happen to a band. Their voices don't last. And so you get to see these guys, and they're doing it exactly how you remember, maybe from the MTV videos or just the stuff you've seen online with them. And so that's the great thing about tribute bands. They give you that throwback experience. And so for me, I just love seeing that stuff. Once you get into it, man, it's just like any full-blown concert, man. They're just fun, and you're having a good time. And if these guys are doing it right, man, it's just awesome. Okay, before we get started on the last stuff, I just want to make it clear, like, if you want to go see these bigger bands, you should. I do. I mean, I saw the Scorpions in Vegas. They played in a big venue. I saw Duran Duran at the Hollywood Bowl. I saw Smokey Robinson and Frankie Valli at the YouTube Theater. These are all just recent shows. So I do go to these other shows. So go see those shows. If you can afford them, go see them. I like to see live music a lot, and that's why I kind of get into the tribute bands as a filler. And so one of the last things I'm going to mention is just the convenience of seeing these smaller bands. So, you're not paying, you're not waiting in line to park. You're not waiting in line to get out of the parking lot after the show. You're not fighting all these crowds. When I go see a tribute band, you know what? They usually take the stage at 11. I usually get there about 10:30 because before that it's like a nightclub scene. After that it's not like a nightclub scene. I don't really get into that. I just want to go see the band play and maybe socialize with, and some people, but that's about it. So I get there at 10:30. I'll have a beer, and then I'll just hang around the front of the stage. And when the band comes on, I'm pretty much front and center. And then when the band leaves, sometimes I've actually had bands come out and say, "Hey, man, thanks for coming," because they've seen me at the show before. Or I've talked to them afterwards while having a drink, or I've met them in the parking lot. But anyhow, it's just a very convenient, intimate setting, and I like that. And then when it's time to go, I'm not fighting traffic. I go straight to my car and I leave. And so, yeah, the tribute bands are just an awesome way to get that live music experience and kind of experiencing it the way you would expect to experience it from the actual bands who made the music. So, guys, that's all I have on this topic. Let me know what you think. Drop it in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. And how do I always leave you? I leave you this way. God bless you.